Now, we also got some good news from President Trump and Governor Gavin Newsom this week. There may be fewer deaths in California and across the country than initially projected because social distancing is working. And tonight, we're checking in with some of the people closest to those deaths, our doctors and nurses. Joining us live is Dr. Vanessa Walker. She's a pulmonary and critical care doctor who works in Sutter Roseville's ICU. Doctor, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Now, we've heard many stories from doctors and nurses across the country talk about the intensity of treating coronavirus patients. Share with us, if you will, what you're experiencing day to day and how you're handling all of the stress.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we are continuing to do what we do best, and that's taking care of patients. It is a little more stressful, and it takes a lot more time to do some of the things that we just took for granted. Just going in to give somebody something, a cup of water, or check a quick vital sign. You have to get fully gowned up and in that room. So what we're doing is we're learning how to really make sure that if we're going to make a trip in there, we're going to do everything that we can possibly do all at one time. People are really pulling together. Anybody who's going in for any reason is checking with all the other nurses and physicians and making sure that they're getting anything done that they can do at when they go in the room. And really everybody is just leaning on each other. We are solidifying as a team. And making sure that we're just supporting each other, which is really the number one thing. Our number one goal is to take care of patients and then to take care of ourselves.
Now, because of all of the social distancing, we know that some patients can't be with their families during some of the toughest moments, and their care providers have to be there for them in that way. Is this something that you've experienced, and are there any cases that come to mind that stick out in your mind?
Yeah, fortunately, we are still allowing people to come in the event that somebody is now end of life. So, and we are doing our best to make it so that our patients are not dying alone without somebody there. However, I've had a case where a family member wanted to come, but they were so terrified to come into the hospital for their own health that they weren't able to come in. But what happened is our nurses do what they do best. And they were at the patient's bedside and holding their hand and making it so that that patient didn't die alone. But that is definitely something that weighs on all of us every day. But specifically at Sutter, they have unleashed iPads and technology so that we are allowing our patients to try to at least digitally connect with their families and friends. So that is one thing that is pretty admirable that our system is doing.
Yeah, that's something we weren't able to do just several years back. Now, there is this great need for PPE. We're hearing that every day. Do you feel safe when you go to work every day? And what precautions are you and your organization taking?
I would say that I am fortunate to be working in a system that I feel is able to provide us with good quality PPE. I think one of the issues is that because coming down from various levels, there was some mixed messages as to what the appropriate PPE was at different times. That made everybody a little anxious as to what do we really need. I think at this point, I feel safe. I go in these rooms, I take care of the patients, and I feel like I have the equipment that I need. I know that there are facilities across the country that don't have that luxury, and my heart goes out to them. But as of right now, in the area that I'm practicing in, I do feel safe. I think overall, when we get home, we are all practicing various forms of decontamination exercises where a lot of us have stations set up in the garage where we take off all of our clothes, get everything packed away, and then go in and immediately take showers. Some of us are staying at hotels. Some of us are just quarantining from families. I'm fortunate. My husband's a stay-at-home dad, and my kids are home with us. So we're just quarantining as a family, and if we get sick, we're just not going to go out and spread it to anybody. But a lot of my partners don't have that luxury, and the nurses, their loved ones are being taken care of by elderly parents. So it's really very challenging.
Dr. Vanessa Walker from Sutter Roseville, we appreciate all of the hard work you're doing. Thank you for spending time with us this evening.